Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, esteemed brothers and sisters. My name is Barrister Zulaiha Yusuf, marriage counselor, life coach, pre and post divorce counselor, and NLP practitioner. I've been serializing my book and we're continuing on the series on the coping mechanisms in a difficult marriage. 20 methods are outlined, which I'm discussing one after the other. In the beginning, we started with renewing your marital intention, which is to start again on a clean slate, to renew your intention before God and decide how you want your marriage to be going forward. And then the second thing we discussed was letting go of all the past pain, bitterness, resentments, and whatever unpleasant experiences you have experienced so far in your marriage. The third thing we discussed was taking responsibility for everything that went wrong, because not one party is always the victim or one party entirely the villain. Both parties had a role to play in whatever negative experiences have transpired in that marriage. Fourthly, we talked about finding your life purpose, which is to know why you are here on earth, so that you can be a more proactive, productive person and a more useful person to humanity. That was finding your life purpose. After that, we discussed acquiring knowledge, because when you know better, you do better. And without knowledge, you really cannot achieve much in life. Without knowledge, you cannot even worship God the way you should. Talk more of showing up in a good way for your marriage. So having talked about acquiring knowledge, the next thing we are going to, and under acquiring knowledge, I mentioned the virtues of reading and writing, because these are two twin skills that when you have them, it will give you a turnaround in your life. If you're able to read and digest a lot of knowledge from various sources in a way that translates into a better life for you, and then you're able to journal and pen down your thoughts in the way of finding solutions to all of your problems, you realize that whatever visions you have written down on paper will start to actualize themselves in the coming years because you wrote them down. That is why it is important for you to acquire knowledge and also to pen down whatever thoughts or whatever visions you have for your future. So the next thing I'm going to talk about, having discussed all these preliminary ones, is dua, ibadah, Quran, or let me just say worship therapy. Worship as a way of transforming your marriage. Your worship can give you a 360-degree turnaround in your marriage, because the truth of the matter is faith is the bedrock of every achievement in life. It is faith that helps us pull through difficult times, to stay positive, and to even get to wherever we are going to. Ultimately, for us as Muslims, the final destination is paradise. And to get to paradise, you have to work for it. And one of the major work you need to do is that worship. So I call this part of my marriage therapy ibadah therapy. There's dua. I know a dua therapist, Hamdallah Sani, who says, dua represents so much for you and I. It is our link to our Creator. You know that for everybody, there is a communication system by which you get to them. There is a way you can talk to your father or your mother or your children. There are some languages you use when you are talking to different personalities that are in your life. One of the ways you talk to your Creator is through worship. It's through dua. You know, it is said that if you want to make requests to Allah, if you want to beg God for whatever it is you want in life, that you should make dua and pray to Him. But if you want Him to talk to you directly, then you should read your Quran. So and that is why I put these three together in one place: dua, ibadah, and Quran. Dua represents so much for everyone. It is prayer. It is making supplications to God, because the truth is, who are you going to ask if you don't ask the Creator? From your whatever little age you have in life, if you are 20, 30, 40, whatever is your experience in life, even if you are young or old, you will have known by now that you cannot rely on creatures. You cannot rely on any human being, because no human being has ever promised you that I'm going to give you ultimate happiness, I'm going to give you joy, I'm going to give you fulfillment, I'm going to solve all of your problems. There is no one human being that can solve all of your problems. But Allah promised us that He was going to do it. So if the person that created you, if Allah who created you has told you that you should ask Him and that He's going to give you what you want, then why else will you not ask Him? So dua represents a lot for us as Muslims. It is the link we have with our Creator. And Allah says in Surah Al-Baqarah, that is the second chapter of the Quran, verse 186, And when my servants ask you, he's referring to Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, concerning me, then tell them that I am indeed near to them. I respond to the invocations of the supplicant when he calls me. So let them obey me and believe in me so that they may be led aright. So it is a matter of cause and effect. When you ask Allah, He will give you. If you don't ask, He may give you, but it is better that since He has told you, He wants you to ask. And it's even said that sometimes Allah may delay sometimes the answer to your prayers or not give you exactly what you want at that particular point in time because He wants to continue to hear your voice. So it is important that we make that connection. Look at it like a phone connection that should never be broken. That should never be broken. If you are calling somebody, a friend or whatever, to request for something, there is a number of means you do before you break the call. But Allah is saying here that you should maintain that connection with Him and should never let it get broken at any stage of your life. When you are in problem and when you are not in problem. When you are rich and when you don't have anything. At all periods of your life, when things are going well and when things are not going well, you should maintain that connection with Allah. That is the only way that you will see a turnaround in your marriage. And a lot of people have reported that when they purified their thoughts and intention and when they rededicated themselves back again to worship, then they began to see a shift in the character or in the behavior of their spouse, leading to a better marriage. So here is the thing. Don't see marriage as just me and my wife or me and my husband kind of thing. Yes, marriage is a union between two individuals, but remember that at the head of the triangle of marriage is God. And so I like to represent it in form of a triangle that when the husband is here and the wife is there, on top of that pyramid or whatever is Allah, the creator. So that He's the manual by which you guide all the issues in marriage. And in the first place, if you were even following His dictates and His injunctions, all of these issues that you are having with your spouse, you people will not be having it. It is because we have derailed from the path He has laid out for us. That's where we are. So we need to come back to the drawing board and make Him again the center of Allah. Allah should be the center of your existence. Let your life revolve not around your spouse but around Allah. The issue is this: when you set your relationship very well with Allah, your relationship with your spouse will start to improve because Allah is the turner of heart. He's the one that is in control of the heart of that your spouse that you want to change. And so one dua I like to make is Ya Muqallib al-Qulub, Ya Muqallib al-Qulub, Thabbit Qulubina ala dinik. Oh Allah, the changer, the turner of hearts, turn our hearts to the part of your deen, to your religion, to your worship. These are the du'as that we should be, and there are a plethora of du'as. There are many, many du'as that you can do, and you will see that they actually work if you are consistent in doing them. One of the things we need to do in terms of dua is to pray with the beautiful names that He has set forth for us in the Quran. Allah has 99 beautiful names that we are aware of, and we are to call Him because each one is tied to a different aspect of life. This is something that we don't know. One of the problems we have as Muslims is that growing up, we were not taught how to make dua. We only know all the normal. There are some particular invocations that we were just taught in Arabic school or in Islamic school. So you say Rabbana, you recite Fatiha and all that. But to actually have that deep connection like you are talking to your friend, most of us didn't know how to do it. And I'm now calling on all of us to try to learn and to establish that, because when you know how to pray with the 99 names of Allah while calling Him, with each particular name related to whatever it is you are seeking, you will see the results manifest in your life. And I'm saying this as a matter of experience from what I've seen by myself. For instance, when you are desperately seeking for wealth or for income or for increase in income, in wealth, in money, in riches, whatever, to continue to pray with Ya Ghani, Ya Mughni, Ya Razak, which all interpret the enricher, the rich one, the one who gives wealth, Al-Razak, Al-Wahhab, the one that will bestow on you any gift He wants to bestow on you, things like that. So you pray in that respect. If you are lacking patience in marriage and you really, really want to get this patience, you can say, Ya Sabur, Saburni, oh the patient one, grant me patience. Things like this. Ya Salam, give me Qalbu Salim, give me a tranquil heart. The peaceful one, grant me a peaceful heart. Things like that. These are all du'as that are available to us. We need to dig deep, and that's why that seeking for knowledge that I discussed last week is very important. That you seek knowledge on the ways by which you can worship, so that it will translate to a better marriage for you. So you need to learn how to word your dua, how to feel connected with the prayer you are making. You don't make dua as lip service, just muttering some things from your lips or some recitations that really do not connect to your heart. How do you feel towards the one that you are praying to? How do you feel towards Allah? You're supposed to come to Allah begging, beseeching, groveling, seeking, for knowing that you are totally powerless without His help and His mercy. And then to stay positive while you are waiting for your response. Many times we get impatient and we get tired. I've been praying like this for 10 years and Allah is not answering me. The Prophet ﷺ has told us that in and of itself is a way to make your dua not be answered. The point you reach where you say, oh, in fact, I'm tired, I've been asking, that is where you miss it out completely. But to stay positive and to know that there is something Allah is keeping for me and there's a time that He's keeping it for me. It's just that I don't know the time. And it will be the best time when it finally comes. So the Prophet ﷺ has also told us that only dua can change that qadar. You know that every time things happen, we say that is our destiny, that is our destiny. But we are being told that even in destiny that is written down from before you were born, it can be changed when you pray. So the Quran contains many verses in which believers made dua. So the prophets made dua, and we are to copy all those dua, all of the prophets. For instance, you have Yunus in the belly of the whale. That is a situation where there is nobody that can ever help you again in this world. You can imagine you have been swallowed up by a whale. That is the end of your life. So there are some times where your problems will drown you, literally drown you under an ocean of frustration and depression. And the only thing you can do will be, for instance, to make the kind of dua that Anabi Yunus made, which was La ilaha illa anta subhanaka inni kuntu minaz zalimin. And there are so many duas like this in the Quran where the particular prophet was so much desperate, he didn't know what else to do. And when he made that dua, immediately Allah answered him. So it is important for. And then ibadah is, of course, your 5 daily prayers and all the other things accruing there too. The compulsory and the supererogatory acts of worship, all that. In the course of our lives as married women, there will be times when your iman will wane so much. Even I can testify to this. At a point, it was a struggle to even complete the 5 daily prayers. I was so tired because the responsibility of motherhood, of being a wife, of showing up for the family, of sacrificing yourself, both your body and your wealth and your strength and your youth, sacrificing it for marriage, sometimes it can be very draining. I just feel as if, is this what life is all about? A woman has told me, it just seems as if we women were just created to come and suffer. But with time, as you deepen your connection with Allah, you renew your intention and to start on, you realize that no, those experiences, those draining aspects of your life were for a purpose, for a higher purpose for you. And the rewards are not lost. Like I said, our destination is paradise. So everything you do along the way should be tailored towards going there. So you should know that your reward is not lost. So there is hope for your weary heart, no matter how tired you are. So even if you have not picked up your Quran in the last 2 years, it can happen. It feels as if there is a barrier between you and Allah. You may be too depressed to even count Allah's blessings. And this is another thing. When we talk about worship, part of worship is to thank, is to be grateful, to have an attitude of gratitude. When you are grateful to God, because He says it Himself, La in shakartum la azidannakum. If they are grateful to me, I will increase them. So you have to be grateful for the things you have. So yes, things are not financially okay. Your husband is not behaving the way he's supposed to behave. Your wife is giving you attitude that is really draining you. Some men will tell you, in fact, the reason I can't go home and the reason why I'm having high blood pressure is because of the kind of trouble that my wife gives me. She doesn't give me rest of mind. So yes, all these things are happening, but there is a way out. There is hope. One of the things is to count the blessings. So when you are counting all those negative things that are happening, think about the beautiful children you have who are healthy, for instance. Some people are praying for you, they don't have it. Think about the fact that you have a roof over your head, that you eat food. Think about the fact that you are still in the right frame of mind. You have not ended up in psychiatric hospital like some other people. Think about the fact that you have a good family. You may come from a very wonderful family, and your siblings and your mother or whatever, they are always rallying around you. It may be friends that you have. It may be the fact that you have a job in the first place. Because it could be all bad and you will not even have a job or a source of income and all that. So yes, home is not palatable right now, but there are things you have. So you count. When you start to count those blessings, you will see that your blessings will increase. So apart from praying with the names of Allah, recitation of the Quran should be a habit. We should all, ideally, if you can recite 10 pages of the Quran every day, that would be very, very good. Because one of the scholars, I think it was Imam Ibn al-Jawzi, was asked, how much Quran should I read every day? And he says, equivalent to the amount of happiness you are looking for. So if you are looking for plenty of happiness in your life, you should read plenty of the Quran. But if you cannot, even 1 page a day is okay. Even 1 sentence has a reward for those who cannot read it fluently. So you need to try, no matter the marriage stress, child rearing troubles, and everything that drain your time and your energy, maybe it's your job, you need to try to connect yourself with the Quran, learn more about it. You know, if you are in an area where you can attend Islamia, all fine and good, whatever it is, find a way to continue to learn how you can get closer to God, because at the end of the day, He is your anchor. An anchor is the thing that keeps you rooted and grounded at a spot so that you will not be carried away by the ocean of problems. So on that note, I'd like to stop. I hope you benefited from this. I hope you make your decision today to make that shift from being inactive to being very proactive, because when you take your worship seriously, you also be productive in every aspect of life. Those who succeed will tell you that they have very, very productive routines that they start their day with every morning. And one of those productive routines every morning is that they pray even before they leave their home. So let's form that connection with the one who created us, because He holds the manual for our life to be successful. And I pray that at the end of the day, you will get the fulfillment, the happiness, the joy, the success that you envisage and that you envision in your future. This is hoping that in the next few years, you would have positive, good testimonies and oral evidence of what Allah has been able to do in your life. On that note, I say, فَسُبْحَانَكَ اللَّهُمَّ وَبِحَمْدِكَ أَشْهَدُ أَنْ لَا إِلَهَ إِلَّا أَنْتَ أَسْتَغْفِرُكَ وَأَتُوبُ إِلَيْكَ. This is wishing your success always. Assalamu alaikum.